Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan, and we are lucky to be live on Twitch and YouTube. You can watch segments of the show, and trust me when I tell you, you're going to want to watch this one because we have a guest on, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! This guy's nuts.
I think this guest is going to be at our BDM Appreciation event this Saturday in Sanford. You got to be a BDM to know about it.
Indeed. He is my favorite radio personality of all time. Some would say a legend in his own right.
It can't be your favorite of all time.
He is.
I will call out any of those punk-ass bitches you have on your show. EJ can go.
Well, he's not my favorite. EJ's never been my favorite.
You don't need to call out anybody.
Let me just say something.
No.
My favorite radio personalities would be, and there could be multiple of them, would put some effort into their bit. And EJ does not put effort into his bit, so he didn't even squeak the top 50. Phil Hendry was
punk-ass bitch Seth Petrozelli with his pink hair. Oh, I knocked out a black guy.
Would you fight Seth at
Monster Week? Wait, what do we got? Damn it! I'll cut that out. Will you fight Seth at Tom and Dan Ween?
Seth is a paper effing tiger.
I don't even know if you know what that means, do you?
So, Tuddle.
No, I do. I know what that means. That's when
everybody's been using these Eastern influence languages because of stupid White Lotus. Everybody's like, he's a paper tiger. You shut up. You think you're better than me?
So, Tuddle, are you back on the juice?
Yeah, you're on the juice.
Because you sound like you are.
And look at him. Look at his haircut.
No,
his haircut screams, I just bought juice from a dealer. Are you on the juice?
Yeah, why is your background all black?
Yeah.
There's a floating...
Yeah, because he doesn't want to see the pain pill bottles everywhere. What are you doing?
Hold on. Yeah, I mean, you want to be a bitch? Then let's do it then. Here, we'll go with this.
He's got the butt cut right down the center. Hold on, pause. Look at your butt cut. I'm gonna put it on to everybody. Look at his butt cut. Aurora Boreal butt cut. Yeah. Now we have the Aurora butt cut Alice.
It seems, Tuddle, and I could be wrong, but we warned you about going back into radio.
We told you if you went back into radio, it would damage your sobriety. And buddy.
Yeah. And then you're like, no,
I'm
I got everything.
Drinking. Are you questioning my sobriety, Tom?
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror? You look like the singer from. You look like Tom York from Radiohead.
Tom.
So, stop cursing.
Sorry.
You know radio.
We were running loose.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, but Daniel saw us beep it out. We can't just blatantly put it up.
I'm sorry. That was at 11:07. I'll send you the timestamp.
No, it's fine.
Okay?
I got it.
So, Tuddle, tell me about what your schedule's been. When do you go to Tampa and do live radio? You got a job here?
I'm about to leave here after this, and I'm going to Tampa to do my terrestrial radio 1 day a week with Bubba tomorrow.
So that you do that tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Okay. And
that's what I just said.
No,
I'm telling you, he's extra spicy today, and I'm just kind of going to sit here and monitor it and see what happens.
And how's that going? Are you dipping your toe?
What do you want me to say? It's going bad. It's going poorly. No. It's I need to send you, and I'm going to ask Bubba if I can. His documentary is completed.
Okay.
All right. Is this about?
It's not out yet.
This is more digging into him allowing big fat ZD Hogan to pump his wife, right?
It's about just the
and
whole
how that ruined his life. When
Yeah.
you let your best friend eat too much ZD and then pump your hot wife, it ruins your life.
Really. That is more of the video, you know.
Right.
Well, he was like, "Oh, I'm bloated. I'm bloated."
I mean, Hulk Hogan could have banged my wife years ago. If no one knows about it, then it's like a tree falling.
I would know about it. No, I would know about it.
No, but even if you knew about it,
I would know about it.
As long as the video,
I would never let. It's the video. I would sell the video.
Well,
I would sell the video.
If there's no video,
if there was if there was a video to be sold, I would steal it from your house and then I would shop it to all the publications, and I'd become infamously rich.
I was about to call what that's called, and then I realized I think Tuddle told me that in confidence. I'm not going to make that joke.
Chill out.
But you know, like the crazy thing is that everybody got rich When you say that it is the most profitable porno tape of all time, and the whole thing has never come out.
Well, I saw it.
Yeah, I only wanted to see
Me
the
and
one
Daniel
part.
watched it
I've
a lot of
I
times.
have it saved on this computer. Am I allowed to say that? I have it right
No,
on this computer. It's literally in the same folder as my daughter's Christmas photos.
Yeah. We
Do you
watched
have the
it.
extendo cut? You have the
I do not
extendo-
have the extendo cut, but I do have a piece where Bubba walks in. He's like, "I'll be in here if you need me." I've got.
No, let's get that right. He says, "If you need me, I'll be in my office."
Thank you. See, I have seen it. A lot of people go like, "Damn, Daniel, he does watch it."
I think he ate too much pizza.
Yeah, ziti or cannolis or something.
But let's go through this though. Do you know that Hulk Hogan, Linda's wife, who was in the news recently, talking and crying? She's a crazy bird lady too. If you go watch that video, she's got parrots squawking in the background.
But they know what they're doing in the bedroom. Those bird people.
Yeah. They get immune to the squawking.
Bird
They
people
can't even hear it anymore.
Bird people are right under swingers, and I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah, it's like a fire alarm going off when you're like, you can't hear that? Anyway,
But do you know that she got, even though after the divorce, she got half of the Hogan sex tape.
She got half of that gawker?
Yeah, no, for real. And because that was the deal, I think Hogan paid $8 million up front, and then Linda got half of everything.
Oh my God, I love white trash math. When you're talking about just the trashiest people in the world, and all this money, so much money.
Now, what was the final settlement? Because you may be right with it.
60 million.
60 million, but how much did Hogan actually get off? Because Gawker probably didn't have any liquid.
Well, the first thing he got was 2.5 big aluminum foils of ziti.
Here's what I know about lawsuits: is when someone's suing you, your lawyer's like, behind the scenes, he's like, "Hey, this is not gonna go well." They know what's coming. Like they've done the math, and they're like,
it's just like big battles. They're predicted and known.
And then he's like, I would start dumping your assets and start, liquidating things because they're gonna get you. And then so the lawsuits are drawn out. So then all of a sudden, if I'm Gawker, I'm just saying I'm Tom Van Gawker.
Tom Gawker.
You're Tom
Gawker. Yeah.
I'm putting money everywhere. I'm getting my lawyers to just dump it into everything because if I lose, I don't want to, pay anything.
Correct.
I'll just file bankruptcy and then
move on.
Move on.
And move on
to Clocker. Because it's just the same business, different LLC. So did Hogan get any money?
Yeah, no, he got 52.
52 million?
Now, I had heard that he was never going to get it. Like, he was never going to get the money. So he did get it.
But get this, though. So Calta and Spice Boy at the time were working at Cox Communications. They used company servers, company computers, and Hogan got them for 28.
Ooh, 28 million?
I didn't know that. That's new to me.
Cox Media Group. He got 28 million.
I didn't know that. Oh, I love it
that's a stinger.
I love it when big radio conglomerates stick up for like some knucklehead did something and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we gotta cash out the money." I love that. 28 mil.
I slept at Spice Boy's house once.
Yeah, you did. You did. Did he touch you inappropriately?
No.
That's when he had the Lotus Esprit. He
had
a
and
Lotus.
he had a hot girlfriend.
She was a Playboy model.
Oh yeah,
that's what
she was the one. He was the one that.
Are they still together? Are they still together?
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Nice. Congrats. I love it when romance works out.
I remember I drove my 1992 Ford Escort Berserker.
I was embarrassed. I should have loaned you a car.
Wasn't the Chevy like Silverado?
No.
Wait a minute. Was
no,
it Tuttle with you? It was you, Whopper, and you all.
No, it's just me and Whopper.
No, it was him and Whopper because they were. Was that during the scooter thing that you were doing, or was it something else?
How was Spice Boy's house? Describe it.
It was a nice house.
It was nice.
It was like.
Did he have a kegerator? Because they were peak at the time. Did he have a kegerator?
It was like where the Brazilians vacation in Davenport. It was like that.
It was like Davenport Champions Cake. It was like Champions Cake.
Yeah. Where you're like, wow, this is fancy for if you were poor and won the lottery.
Sausage Castle fancy is what I call it. Yeah, sausage fancy.
I'm joking. Anyway.
No, I'm not. It's like
and then
Sausage Castle fancy.
He had like I believe, I don't want to call her a stripper, but
She's a Playboy model, I thought.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Very good-looking girlfriend.
Like Spanish girl, right?
And that's what I remembered. I was like,
she had a hard implant.
I was like, people in radio are rich?
Yeah.
Because I
But
was
it's like hillbilly rich. That's what I was talking about earlier with the Hogan money and all this.
Yeah.
It's just, these are just hillbillies.
Yeah, but I was like, in Orlando, they're not this rich. I've seen them.
No, we're not the same. We don't run as fast as Tampa.
I was smoking cigarettes with this little man in Deltona. It's nowhere close to this.
I gotta call you out though, Tom.
I saved a lot of my money too.
Yeah.
I saved a lot of my early money. That syndication money. That's how I bought a house.
Go ahead.
You were on a different level though, Tom. Like, don't play poor mouth. Like, you had a rich, like, millionaire, semi-pro football owner.
Oh yeah, he had a football
He
sugar
was giving
daddy.
me $300. Like, he was giving me
And
nothing.
I was starving. Like, I literally was having to pawn my goddamn computer.
Yeah.
At Value Pawn.
Well, that's how the
on
economy
weekly
works.
basis.
There's a lowest and
Oh,
there's
no.
a highest.
Oh, no.
And everywhere in between.
Meanwhile, how'd you do in your pump and dump with the stock market? I'm doing great. When we recover, I'm going to be richer than ever.
Tuttle, okay, and I don't even know if we should say this. I know a lot of shows say, like, hey,
I thought we were flying unfiltered in 2025. I can't walk, so I'll be dead soon.
This is the opinion and statements of this
The
dude.
opinion and
Now we're doing a
statements.
disclaimer.
The opinions and statements of this loose cannon polo wearing conservative radio host are not that of Clear Channel Communications, iHeart, or whatever it's called
Or its
anymore.
advertisers.
You have been warned. We are equal opportunity offenders.
Offenders.
I think it's impossible to sue us because there's no money.
Yeah, you'll get nothing. You'll get nothing.
And I'll dump it.
Yeah.
I already. If I sniff it coming, there's going to be zero on the account.
you could have my cane.
Anyway, so back to Bubba's documentary. So
What's it called? What's the working title?
So Hogan got $55 million from Gawker and then $28 million from Cox Media.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good retirement.
That's better than wrestling.
yeah.
Well,
Because
think about this though. Like, his ex-wife, this all happened after they were divorced, and she got half of all that. And now she is talking about how she has absolutely no money at all.
Then she blew through it.
Yes. She blew through.
I feel sorry for her. I feel bad for her.
No, I mean, she had to
Think
get
about
that $25
but
million.
you're not thinking about it. Think about if you had nothing and then had $25 million and then blew it all.
We would all blow through it,
You would
though.
know what it's like to be poor again. She's never known
Yeah.
what it's like, so
But-
I feel very sorry for her.
But you know
this
what?
is going to be quite the adjustment.
Here's the like this is what people don't understand. When someone blows through $25 million, they still have a bunch of mildew yachts and properties.
You can liquidate that for $170,000.
No, they still they don't have any money left over, but with their assets,
You can go visit all your crap.
Yeah. They bought some trailer park that their buddy got them to buy. 'Cause trailer parks are a good investment.
Really?
Yeah. You get the money off the land, and the people own the garbage that they live in.
I always just wanted to go there and be like, you're late on your rent again, so why don't you flash me?
So they're like, I don't have any money, but really they have, millions of dollars in assets, and they're making like $100,000, off this and that, thing. Anyway, so she blew through all the money. Now, why did he have to pay her even though they were divorced? Because
That was a part of the settlement. It was $8 million up front. Okay. Like, straight out, he had to give her $8 million. Then she gets half of everything on potential earnings, future potential earnings.
so everything that was going on at the divorce, she's like $8 million, and then half of whatever these settlements are going to be.
Yes.
So she got half of the Cox and the Gawker.
The Gawker. Yes.
That's
That's
pretty
$50
badass.
million.
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah.
Less than that.
Yeah.
But it's
25, and then
it's a lot of
you know,
money. It's more than $10 million.
$35 million. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. But you also got to remember, she went to California. She had a young boyfriend that
Looked just
she
like a
was
young
hooking
Hulk
up with.
Hogan, but he's like a Swedish boy.
Yeah. She's partying.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like she was like, trying to keep up with the Joneses or whatever they like to say. But yeah, no, she She blew through it all because she was living in Beverly Hills as well, too.
Well, she's Hulk Hogan's wife. That's where she should live. She's a superstar.
And people always give a crap to people that are trying to keep up with the Joneses, but it's a good feeling if other people think you're successful, even though you're not as successful as you're portraying.
A lot of the Orlando millionaires we know do that.
Yeah.
They want to feel like Tampa millionaires,
awesome.
so they pump themselves up.
Yeah. And then everybody just thinks they treat you different.
Yeah.
They want things from you. They'll give you anything.
It's disappointing when radio listeners or podcast listeners find out that you can't walk and you're poor. Then they're it kills the illusion of it. You know what I mean? Like when they're like, you're just like me and you can't walk. I'm like, uh-oh.
No, nobody wants to listen to someone that's just like them.
Exactly. Or worse.
Yeah.
Once people find out I'm worse than them, like what are they going to do?
Yeah, you don't listen down.
You don't listen down.
You listen up.
I have always given off this air that I'm smarter, funnier, better looking, have a better life than everyone. And it's a lie.
Yeah, just handicap barf.
Well, usually, a lot of people are like, oh, you meet a chick. Like, if you go out on a date and you meet her at a place, the chances
Talk about how lonely you are, please. You have 30 seconds. No.
I'm not. What I'm saying, though, is when I pull up in my dad's beat-up, rusted-out F-150 that has 295,000 miles on it, I'm just and I got garbage all in the back. I get the garbage tornado in the back of the truck all the time.
Kind of hard to finger blast in your dead dad's truck, right?
Yeah, no, I have.
That's disgusting.
I've done it, and I'm not proud of it.
You got to do what you got to do. Who are you dating
That still
now?
happens in your 40s on dates?
Who are you dating now?
Not dating anybody. Kind of seeing somebody at the moment.
Whoa.
So,
is it Roz Franco?
Come on. Stop.
Oh, she texted me.
No, let's stop bringing up people's names,
shut up.
full
She's
names.
She's a public figure.
No,
she's a
not
public
anymore.
figure.
Stop
Yes, she
trying
is.
to be a pussy, Tom.
She's a public
for
figure.
real.
She's a.
No, I don't think. Does it last forever?
Hey, I'll give her a compliment.
Can you be?
I'll give her a compliment. She's a hot tamale.
Can you be on the radio one time and then be a lifetime public figure?
She said, "Love you. Come see me soon."
I know what that
All
means.
right, come on.
Hey, Stanko,
Come
that
on.
Franco.
Can I tell
that
you-
Franco.
No, that's old. Come on.
She was the first chick that I
Stop.
hooked.
No, come on. Let's not talk about any of this. Okay.
Yeah, you're
back-
not supposed to, yeah.
Oh.
I have to cut that out. I have to. That one I have to.
Why?
Yeah, I'm cutting it all out.
So, back to the documentary. So, is the documentary just about everything that transpired with the sex
Yes.
tape and then after? And then really Bubba got the worst end of it because
It ruined him. It ruined him. Like they.
But at the
used that
time, he
tape.
was pretty pumped about it.
Well, it was getting national headlines.
No, I mean, at
everywhere.
the time when he's like, I'll just be in here, pretty pumped about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course. But what I'm trying to say though is that so you guys broadcast from your own studio, okay? And Bubba talks about this in the documentary that he didn't realize how much of a detriment it was with him not broadcasting from their radio station because he was never ever really there. Like he would come for meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
But a lot of people could plot and scheme behind the scenes because he was not in the building.
So does he? Does that contribute to why he thinks that this whole thing got blown up so big? Is because
Distance.
Everybody was like looking to, I guess. I mean, what? So is this all in the documentary? Obviously, you can talk
Yes,
about
it
it,
is.
but like,
Yes,
so
it
the. I remember when this happened, we talked about it. So the sex tape was filmed, which is consensual, obviously, and then it was stolen, and then
By Spice.
so that is
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Okay,
yes.
and then
Because here, I'll let you know why it's confirmed is that Spice Boy and his attorney got busted at the time.
Trying to sell the tape,
Sell
right?
the sex tape.
Yeah.
Trying to sell the sex
remember
tape.
that.
So, like, it's confirmed that it was in his possession and he was trying to sell it to make money. and the FBI caught him.
You could have gotten it. You're over there sleeping in his house. He could have snuck in there and got
This
that
is
tape. We
before
could have
that.
been rich. Or you could have saved Hogan's life. And you show up at Hogan's house, you're like, Hogan, it's me
got
from the
paid.
future. I have to...
This story could have been easily Drunky the Bear instead of Spice Boy.
Yeah.
In some alternate multiverse.
Absolutely.
Right?
Same guy.
It's
the same guy.
It's a
Different sides of the chessboard, both a
I
rook.
can see I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sell
Different
this.
sides of the chessboard, both a rook.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan.
You know what's
He
crazy
says he ate
is
too
that
much
everybody's
pizza.
like,
Huh?
oh, poor Hogan. Hogan made out. Hogan made out.
Yeah, he made out with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. And he had seedy breath.
But he was done with wrestling. Nobody wanted to touch him.
Yeah,
And he got paid. He got paid.
Yeah, if you look at it, you definitely at the end of the day, let's
And
say
it wasn't his greatest performance.
let's
I
say-
watched the whole tape.
he made $30 million. He gets a retirement. Then that's that whatever billionaire that hated Gawker, like he got Gawker bankrupt.
He assists to get
That
it.
was the thing. Hogan didn't even have to pay for his defense. Like, it was all paid for by this guy that hated Gawker so much.
Yeah,
So in a
this is
weird
actually
way-
this is a super interesting part.
So in a weird way, it is interesting that Hogan, who let's take anything that's in play that makes you not like him, just take it out of play, okay,
Yeah.
for sake of this. So he got to bang a hot girl of his best friend, got taped, and then they handed him a ton of money, and now he's just Hulk Hogan still, but with a lot more money than he would have had because he already gassed out all of his money. So it was like a really cool second or third or fourth shot.
well, I'm sure for him though, it's embarrassing having that.
Less embarrassing for a man than a girl, and I hate to take something that you would normally say, but totally, and so especially you're Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Like,
You've done worse things that are more embarrassing. Like
the girl didn't get anything, right?
No, I don't
No, she
believe
did
so.
not. No,
I'd rather be taped sleeping with your wife than being taped saying blizz piz.
No, yeah, people.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'd way rather be taped having sex with a beautiful. Like, what did he do wrong? He was just a man. He was a big Hulk Hogan seedy man. Yeah.
Like,
Why
you're
didn't
not-
you realize that everybody was going to know Bliss Biz? Out of all this, out of any question I'd be like, hey, you come up with a better code word. You see, it's easy to put together.
Are you talking about the Carney? You're talking about the Carney talk?
Well,
that they
with,
do?
with,
Yeah, I
just,
think
with
it's
his
just what he
son,
does.
he just said, hey, watch out for those Bliss Biz. It's just like, everybody will know what that means, Hogan. It's not hiding it from anybody. You could have
Here,
said, say something else.
We used to make fun of Hogan all the time. His Carney was always so lazy. Like he didn't even try to hide what he was trying to
real
say.
hillbillies and wrestlers talking a weird. They got all kinds of weird.
Watch out for those jumping beans. It's like,
I know what that means.
Everybody knows. You have to. Your code has to be better.
Now,
jumping
you-
beats, blizz piz, Nazis. I know what they all are.
Yeah.
You wanna- you
just
wanna
say
know
watch
what
out for the
happened?
people, because then it's easy.
Then you're covering everything.
Yeah, and then people can't accuse
Yeah,
you.
no specifics.
Yeah. Then anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So do you want to know what hurt Hogan the most was the racial talk.
Yeah. That's it was the Blizz Piz and then talking to his son. Obviously, So now back to the documentary.
I can't wait to see the documentary.
Where is he self-releasing it?
No, it's going to be available streaming on a major platform. And once I talk to him, I'm going to, I just want to make sure that I'm able to share it with you guys and he doesn't mind. But I really, it's 3 episodes long. So
wow.
Each episode is about 80 minutes.
Now, does he talk in the documentary about the actual act of
putting the
Hogan?
thermos in? Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah. It is just his business. There's nothing illegal about watching another man bang your wife. A lot of people like that. They're into it. But that's what it was all about. That.
Yeah.
And the recording of it was part of it because you need it for later, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
I
I mean?
mean,
And how it was
leave
stolen.
only footprints, take only pictures, right?
How it was stolen, the whole conspiracy behind the tape. why the state attorney at the time did not like prosecute, because you got to think about this. There was a lot of money that was brought and money that people got. Nobody did any jail time.
So, did anybody even get charged with a crime like
Nope.
stealing, like offering some money from a stolen sex tape has got to be illegal, right?
Yeah, and guess what? The Mark Ober, who is the state attorney that Bubba maybe talked crap about in the past, refused to bring charges.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is like porn stars starting to protect their content. When you're hated, nobody's going to help you out.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, God,
Yeah.
that's the one downfall for being hated.
Yeah, it really is. Because being hated is fun. It's very fun.
Yeah, get you rich,
Yeah.
but then you're like, help me.
Yeah,
No.
people are like, let him drown. It's the only thing.
Yeah, this is America. How could this be? And
But
it's
you got to
like,
find other hated people to help you.
this is run by humans, so it's flawed.
His response, the attorney, was that this crime could have never been committed if Bubba never recorded the tape.
I like that. It's a victim's fault.
Oh, yeah, victim blame. Yeah, I like that a little bit, too.
Yeah.
That is peak Tom Van.
Yeah. If you didn't
Yeah, if
even
you didn't
invite
have this weird
Hogan over.
fetish where you wanted to see wrestlers lay on top of your wife.
But for real, honestly, though, in the eyes of the law, like, what did Bubba do wrong?
I wouldn't. If I was the like a prosecutor or whatever, the attorney that hated Bubba, I would have said, well, really, it's more about leaving the sex tape in a drawer at the radio station for Spice Boy to easily find.
By the way, when that tape was stolen was when we were moving from Bubba's old studio to the new studio.
It makes me wonder how many tapes are up there at old Clear Channel headquarters right now. We gotta go over there and start looking for tapes. A bunch of these fat guys pumping other people and all this gay sex and all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
We worked in a time where like not
why did he
everybody
bring
had
it to work
camera
again?
phone.
What is it like? You know what? I got my coffee. I got my Palm Pilot.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's bring this tape in.
And
I think
here's the thing: you
want to watch it on the way to work.
It's your property. You should be able to
you can take it anywhere you want
without anybody stealing
Sure.
it. But I will say that if Hogan banged my wife and I had a tape of it, I'd put it next to my rusty revolver in the safe, or maybe
Now, me on the other hand, I'd probably carry it at all times in my pocket.
Tom, would you show it to Daniel though?
No, he wouldn't. I haven't
banged
even seen
your
Soapy Butt. He has a whole.
I showed it to you.
But there is and if I'm over speaking, you have permission to shut me down. But apparently there are hundreds of photos and the good ones. And the only one that made the wall was that.
Right.
But there is a whole book. There's a shrine.
the wall.
There's a
the
whole
wall.
tome of photos to go
come on.
through. See? See?
Tom, do you ever look back in your old Drunky the Bear adventures of Drunky the Bear where you're like, can never run for office?
No, you can. You totally can.
That changed.
Yeah.
I don't know what world you live in, but
Yeah.
I could be
Yeah,
anything
guess
I
what?
want.
Guess what you are? You're Billy Bush. We're fine. You're Billy Bush. We're fine.
Hey, that's the greatest thing that happened is it opened up presidency to everybody.
Yeah, it started before that, right?
Yeah,
it started with like Kim Kardashians and Paris Hiltons and these people that it just doesn't matter.
When I was a kid, I thought you couldn't be president if you couldn't spell potato. And I was like, well, I'll never be president then.
Yeah.
But then now,
And that was
I
the
tell my
vice
sons,
president.
I'm like, do whatever you want.
And that was the vice president. That was Dan Quayle.
Yeah,
It's good that you remember that.
Fool me once.
Shame on you.
Don't
Fool me twice.
again.
Can't pull the wool over my legs.
Now watch me hit this drive. Remember when he's on the golf course?
Okay, back to the documentary. So, and why did it so much negatively affect Bubba? Like, because obviously he got national attention. I remember this was huge headlines for, everybody knows Bubba. He likes attention. He likes media attention.
He likes
everybody
mixing it up
does.
hard. He plays hard.
Yeah, and it's the best thing you could do for your show, good or bad. Is and it's nothing illegal. It's not like he, it's kind of like, hey,
It's his
this
choice. It's his
yeah,
life.
his own personal sex tape got stolen from him, and it happened to be Hulk Hogan. He didn't do anything egregiously poor that I would look at as like, oh, this makes him a bad person.
It's not something that I would do, and that's the part
But
that
who
I think
cares?
most. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that most people can identify with. But I mean, you deal with that every single day.
Yeah, so it's like having a fetish of any kind is not illegal. You're not hurting anybody. It's like, so this should. I mean, there's plenty of people that are still famous that have hurt people. You know,
Correct.
violent people,
Yeah,
or that hurt them financially. It's like Bubba didn't do anything to anybody in this case.
So I will tell you what ended up happening. Back to Bubba not being in the building all the time. Okay, so Spice Boy left Bubba's show to do nights at 102.5 The Bone. Okay, so then Calta was the host from 3 to 7 at the time. Now here, let me back up. This is gonna blow your mind. Bubba has talked about this, and he talks about it in the documentary. The worst decision he ever made, because when Bubba came to mornings at the Bone, it was still a music station. It was gonna be all talk in the morning, and then Calta was playing 3 or 4 songs an hour. All right, they asked Bubba, "Hey, we're gonna switch everything over to talk radio. It is your decision. Do you want to get rid of Calta?" And Bubba said no. And then Calta was the one that screwed him eventually down the road. So back to that. So Spice goes and does nights. Calta's doing 3 to 7. The whole entire time, their plan was to take this tape, make them look bad. Calta would take mornings once Bubba was fired, and then Spice Boy would take afternoon drives from 3 to 7.
God, I wish we'd had a tape like this, and I'd do the same thing.
Also, this is the worst decision he's ever made.
He's saying it would have.
No.
If he would have fired, if he would have told Cox to get rid of Calta, this never ever happens.
I'll just make it a joke because there's
right.
a poop buckets and poop situations.
The poop buckets are pretty good.
There's a lot of other.
Yeah.
But no, so this was all just a plot to. It was basically radio wars because Mike Calta and Bubba the Love Sponge have been feuding for a long time.
Not a lot of love there. So, in this, with this all said and done, what is Bubba trying to do now? Does he want some sort of retribution? Does he want revenge? Does he want them to be held accountable? I mean, I'm kind of with Tom on the okay, if laws were broken and things were stolen, I mean, regardless of whether you like the guy, love the guy, hate the guy, doesn't matter. You have to hold people accountable for stealing people's private property. So where are we at with that? Is there anything?
He just wants people. He wants people to know the truth. He knows for a fact that I'm not getting any money off of this. That's come and gone. He wants just people to know the absolute truth. And in this documentary, they interview newscasters that are local that covered the stories and stuff. Local lawyers on the other team, lawyers on his team. It's a really, really well done documentary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy, interesting story
On the
with characters.
crazy hillbilly subject. Right? Oh man, it's good. It's good.
But why did it so negatively affect Bubba? Because
he got fired from Cox
for this.
Yes. Yeah.
But what was the reasoning because he filmed the sex tape?
It did not live up to the standards of Cox Media Group standards.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Handbook.
Well, that's
you broke the rules in the handbook.
That's a media contract where it leaves it open ended for anything.
We needed an out, and this is weird. You're gone.
Which is kind of weird that they fired him for this, being that he had so much media attention, and it's not what he did wasn't a crime or harmful to anybody.
You would think that because how much media promotion, free media publicity that you got, that your morning show guy is everybody's, like it or not, Hulk Hogan at one time was the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
And your morning show host's wife slept with the most important guy in the world, the most famous guy in the world. You would think it would be this is good for business.
Bring that tape up again. Let's watch it one more time.
Yeah. I gotta find it. Last time I went, it was a little harder to find.
Yeah.
And it's getting grainier. That's a weird thing. Is they're getting grainier because people keep like copying and copying and copying.
Okay.
If there is a way for you to get us the unedited, I'd gladly love an update.
So, and then from there,
I still go back and watch Paris Hilton Night Vision. That's how I am.
After he was fired, basically lots of other things happen negatively to him. Like, does he contribute this to like the beginning of like
Kind of the end?
Because Bubba's doing fine now. Obviously, like I know his Twitch numbers are gigantic. He's broadcasting online to his own audience.
Almost got 170,000 subscribers on YouTube right now.
Dude, that's
Like,
huge.
Great, that's
I mean,
great.
yeah, and I'm sure he's monetized. He's always been a good businessman. He's making money,
Like,
and yeah.
Do you want to know like he's got his lawyers working on this, and I think it's a smart idea. You know how Trump is now like talking about where you're not going to tax tips.
Yeah.
He started Bubba Army Tips website that people can, which leads you to like any of their like donation pages and stuff. And since it says tips, which technically it is a tip, right? And I think it's a smart business decision to be able to say, all right, I'm doing my radio show. The money that people are giving me, they don't have to pay it to watch the show. They're giving me tips for doing a good show.
Oh God, I'm going to change all our advertising invoice to
tip.
advertising tips.
Yeah, they're just tipping us out.
Everything's a tip.
You get what I'm saying,
BDM
though, right?
tips.
Yeah.
Can all of our
And I'm
revenue
gonna
be
let
tips?
any wrestler in Orlando bang my wife. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes!
Because it's good for business. I wrote that down when you said it. I wrote that down.
Yeah. Everything. All BDM subscribers are going to be all tip based.
I'm putting out a call. I want Kofi Kingston to bang my wife.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston or Big E. Maybe
No,
Big E. Welcome back.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
were injured for a long time,
Yeah,
Big E.
it is a good business decision not to pay taxes. That's what I'm with Bubba.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started, man. The government hates me.
So how's your regular job? And you said you are seeing
going well.
somebody. Regular job is good. How's Vulture?
Vulture is doing well. You know, like he loves Tom to death, but like sometimes he just feels like Tom just, he's reached out to Tom.
Yeah,
quite a
Tom
few
doesn't
times.
text back for anything.
No,
Just know that.
no,
Just know that.
I
He'll
would-
only text back if it's a business thing.
What
I'll
does he
text
wanna
him
do?
something, nothing. If Krista for the improv texts him, immediately he'll text back. So just know that if he doesn't text you back, he finds what you're saying of zero value to him, he only replies to things that he thinks have value. What he doesn't understand is the long game is the least amount he replies to my text, it degrades the value. He doesn't understand he's zeroing me out. He doesn't understand that, but he hasn't gotten that far into the business.
Yeah, but wait till you get to negative.
You'll
That's
see.
when the show gets good again. You see what I'm saying? We just got to get past the zero, and then it's a whole different show. What?
Our business, bjepros.com, that we were offering because like we have some hiring needs in your area, and we were like, hey, I want to advertise with Tom and Dan, but you never returned his call.
Oh, we would have.
That's a lie.
We would have done that.
Tom, I'm being dead ass honest. Like when it comes to this business, I don't joke about that.
Did he text me or did he leave me a voicemail? Who
Called
listens
you.
to voicemails?
He called
Don't
you.
call me.
Called
Text me. No one calls anymore in business. It's all text.
I don't know.
Does the Vulture know
I would be
2025?
open to all business if I were truly a good businessman. I wouldn't. Why stagnate yourself with just one form of
It's already
communication?
come and gone, but he wanted to do 3 months at $3,000 a month.
Oh my God!
no
We missed
one's-
out on 9K.
No one's got that budget.
Oh my God! Hold on. Let me give that a
No,
bar.
that's a
I'm gonna give
you
that
have
a
to
bar.
text.
9K.
You think
that's
I'm
a
asking
supercharged
you?
jet ski.
I mean, that could have been braces for the kids.
Yeah, and Maisie needs them. Maisie's got teeth like a barracuda. She looks horrible. I said,
No,
close your
you
mouth.
really
I said,
think-
close your mouth. Yeah.
It was 9,000. Like no BS. He had a budget.
Did you
No.
have braces? Did you have braces?
No, you.
No, I never
But
had
I know you, Tuttle. You would have said, "I'll just say the name on the segment they do once a month with I'll just free advertising."
No, but he knows
how
that
about
would have
my
started. He knows that would have started a war.
That's what you know the business. That's why you got
you
fired.
charge me for that.
Catherine Brown heard you.
Yeah,
tell
Catherine heard you talking S about her at Applebee's, and she cut you out.
Applebee's across the street was the weird, like
Yeah.
the dumbest. Like, who would have ever thought? What were the chances that
Very
my
high.
program director?
That's funny because the chances are very high because Catherine was always at Applebee's.
Now, I would have done it,
Yeah.
more than a block away from the closest.
I mean, you
restaurant.
literally did it in walking distance. And you said hi to her when you walked in. You're like, hi, Catherine.
I did not.
Yeah. When you do your payola meetings away from the radio station,
Yeah.
so there's no
Oh, that-
chance of anybody.
You got to do them way away.
Should have went down to Cuban sandwiches to go or
Yes,
something.
Lee Road. You got to go Lee Road Cuban sandwiches
Yeah.
to go. Cafe con leche.
I prefer the Diamond Club on Cimarron.
Yeah, that's how
ass.
Roomba does their business.
Wait, hey, I'm glad that you brought that up. Were you doing SBK Live the night, like the weekend before, like I got married, and Kevin and you guys made me go up there
To
to
the
the club?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It was so uncomfortable.
You made him go to Diamond Club alone?
No.
It was Drunky or Tom. Sorry,
No, he was
It
drunky then.
Tom.
You can say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Drunky, SBK, Gomer.
Gomer was you guys had Nazis before other people did. You guys had an original Nazi.
Yeah. Back then it was cool.
Zach. Remember
Yeah.
Zach?
Yeah. He's
Burger.
he just
Yeah,
had a
Burger
kid.
was there.
He just had a kid.
Mm.
Yeah, it was me, Tuttle, Burger, Gomer, SBK.
Wow.
That was a good show.
Yeah.
SBK
It's
Live. That was a quality
like a
show.
Ragtag Stand By Me cast. If the cast of Stand By Me finds a dead body in the woods.
We all did it for free. No one got paid nothing.
And
we
you guys
said get
nothing.
drunk.
And you guys, we're gonna be the next Howard Stern.
Oh yeah, we got wasted and high before every show.
Yeah.
What the hell did we talk about?
Kevin brought a snake one time that pooped all over the table. I remember that. Somebody put that on.
Chewing up pain pills in the parking lot.
Yeah. Were you doing a lot of pain pills then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, it was
I-
giving them to me.
Yeah. Oh
I
man.
miss them. I miss them.
I miss
Yeah,
them too.
yeah.
They don't
Good
give them
old
to you.
days.
They don't give them to you anymore.
Yeah, you don't get the blue meanies. Dude, I would love a blue meanie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
God,
Remember, you just had to go to the doctor and tell him you had a cold, and they give you 60
I'm telling
pain
you,
pills.
we live in a time when
Here.
imagine maybe 15 years ago where some radio host would have handed you 2 pain pills and said, "Hey, take these and then go in this other room and bang my wife."
okay,
That
So,
is
I'll-
that's a different way of living, right? That's just a better
I'll-
life.
I'll make this quick. So remember, like I used to like slam my door, my elbow in the door and stuff. Well, the orthopedic surgeon that was writing me all the pain pills at the time came up to the tanning salon. So like I'm sitting there, I just got done cleaning beds. He shows up and he's got this folder. He's like, "Hey, do you got a second to talk? I need to." And
Talk about this elbow.
Yeah, so he takes me down to the Firehouse Subs. We sit-
Oh
we sit
man,
at
you know
one
they mean
table.
business and they bring you down there to get a hook and ladder.
He showed me a page of 9 pages long that he had printed out with all the pain pill prescriptions
Prescriptions.
prescriptions that I gotten from other doctors as well too at the time.
Yeah, they keep that
yeah.
all together. That was when it was up. When they combined the databases, that's when it was
the
up.
database.
Yep, they combined databases.
Yeah. It used to be just
Yeah.
paper. No one knew nothing.
Yeah. Thanks a
I
lot.
felt like the
Computers.
biggest scumbag because it was like you went to
No, you do what you do
this-
at Winn-Dixie. You're like, there's money in the account. You go like, this must be an error.
You went to 15 different compound pharmacies.
Exactly. It was honestly.
You were getting
it
this
was-
where people
Yeah.
get medicine that have horrible diseases,
yeah.
debilitating cancer.
Yeah. They're all around Curry Ford.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and like
You miss it,
it's
don't you?
embarrassing. It was embarrassing. Yeah, no, I definitely miss it. I got 62 refills on 30 10 milligram blue minis for a 2-month period.
2 months.
Oh my God,
60 refills.
That's the best 2 months of your life. My God.
We're
Yeah.
just going.
Never
How
poop.
many doctors were you going to?
I still have them written in my notes on my phone.
Don't never get rid of that because you might need to go back.
There was one in Champions Gate. There was one in.
People get mad when you talk about this, though, but I love it. It's so funny.
It was one in Champions Gate, one in Celebration, one in Ocoee, one in Metro West, one in Pine Hills.
When you go through the
was
gates,
sketchy
you're
one.
like, "There's no champions."
But
you are having a bit of a celebration in Celebration.
And there was one time when I was getting there was a time when I was getting excessive amounts of Adderall on top of the pain pills. And I went in to see my psychiatrist at one time, and he pulled out the same paperwork. Once they combined that damn pill database.
You gotta run. You just gotta run. Like they pull out.
Do you admit it? Do you start crying when they confront you?
No, I didn't cry. You know what I said? I was like, "This is ID fraud. I need a copy of that so I can find out."
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah, say it's fraud and then storm out.
Yeah, and I was like, "I need a copy of this," and the guy was like,
"That's what I do with any
know,
fight with my
HIPAA
wife.
laws.
Go guilty, and then go and then deflect, and then storm out."
ID fraud.
At him. I was like, "I've been defrauded. Somebody has stolen my identity," and I was mad.
Then look at him and be like, "I am insulted. How dare you?"
Because he had,
and then say this one, even if it's not true, go, "I'm a father."
Yeah, it was the doctor, his RN, his registered nurse, and then like his assistant.
Oh, they brought people in there in case you started a fight.
Yeah, and he had a Doctor Who TARDIS like in the corner.
You should have smashed it on your way out. You should have broken it.
They're like,
no, you should do that move where you walk out and then you walk back and break the TARDIS and then run out.
They're like, "Sir, we know."
Oh, they knew what I was up to, but I had to save face the whole entire time. I was like, I had to think quick on my feet, and I was just like,
which is really hard when you're that messed up.
I've had 62 pain pills.
I took my last perk and last 30 milligram Adderall before I went in there, and maybe I took an edible as well too.
Oh my
They're
God!
like, "Sir, you're falling asleep in the paperwork."
You fell asleep at page 3. Hey, Tuds, we love you, buddy. Thanks for zooming in and hanging with us today, okay, man?
Hopefully it was okay, and I'm
Dude,
sorry,
it's always
guys.
great talking to you.
Yeah. I laughed my ass off.
Every time we talk to you, we get to catch up. It's always super fun, man. Love to you. Love to Jackal. I mean, not Jackal. Buzzard. They're all the same to me. They're all Jackals.
All right. I love you guys. I hope you have a great day.
You
Bye.
too, buddy.
All right.
We'll see you soon. That is...
Oh, we're gonna get a text. I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry I said all of that.
God,
That was good.
Total is so funny.
I like it when he tells the truth comment. 62 scripts.
See,
man.
that's what you're missing.
Yeah.
Regular, social media is like, I look at this, I'm like, these people aren't telling their
not even
deepest,
real.
darkest
No, that's not
secrets.
even true.
They're horribly
Instagram is fake.
embarrassing secrets.
Half
of
those
their...
people that look in those beautiful locations are 62 scripts deep. A lot of them are.
Yeah. That's
A
what we
lot
want to
of them
hear.
are.
The truth, the
Yeah.
dirty truth. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So, did you see the video of the Blue Origin all-female space flight that just happened yesterday?
I did. I'm glad you're calling it a space flight, not a mission. I'm glad you're also not calling them astronauts because they're not.
No.
Gail King, I did see, was terrified, and when
It's a ride.
Yeah, on the video before they got in, you could see how terrified she was. And she even did an interview to talk about that because people were like, "Why would you look so crazy?" And she's like, "I literally," and I have this, what she talked about is me. She was like, "I just wanted to get to my chair and do my training." That's me. Like, I'm definitely that when I'm getting on something or something, like, don't talk to me.
Yeah, this could go very wrong.
Yeah, it could go very wrong. Yeah.
And
it absolutely could go very wrong.
And in all the rocket launches that are, manned, the ones that go wrong, it's real bad.
Yeah.
There's not many survivors.
No, it gets really wrong.
Yeah. That's, once you're exploding or burning up on reentry or whatever, like...
Which would you rather, explode or burn up?
Explode.
Me too.
Because the burning up, I imagine it happens...
What if it just gets from my knees down, and then I'm flying through the air as a torso? You didn't think about that. Maybe incineration would be the way to go. Because it would get you, all of you. I don't want the thing to explode, and let's say that when it blew up, it just blew from the center of my calves and my feet off, and then I I whip. Who is that?
No, I don't know. God,
Answer
damn
it. Answer it live on the show.
All right, hold on. I guarantee you it's a. Oh God.
What is it? What is
No,
it?
no.
Is it Cliff Winkler?
No, it's always a scam.
Oh, I thought it was Cliff from the Weekly.
No.
But yeah, I'd rather. I think maybe I'd rather burn. It's a quick burn, not a long burn.
And once you're rocketed into the atmosphere at that height, you would immediately be rendered unconscious because there's no oxygen. But then you'd come back to consciousness right around like 20,000 feet and then be awake till you die.
Where am I? Oh, yeah!
That's bad. Waking up, falling.
I do every night.
Yeah.
Every night when I wake up in my dreams, I wake up, I'm just like plummeting to my death.
But it did look cool. Like they were obviously, they just rocketed up there and then they just fall. And while you're falling, you look like you're in space, which you kind of are, but you're really just at the upper echelon of the
edge
atmosphere.
of space.
Yeah, and then, but it looks, you're looking around, you're like, whoa, the Earth, you're high as hell.
Is it the equivalent of saying, I had a layover in NYC? Right? It's the equivalent of having a layover in the city. You didn't visit the city. You were there.
Yes,
but you didn't visit it. You didn't see the sights.
You have to be in orbit to really be
correct
an astronaut.
Speaking of that, you're going to New York soon, aren't you? Like, I'm sure we're going to talk about it whenever, but I'm excited for you. That's going to be super fun. I've never been to the city.
Me neither.
I've been to upstate New York and all around there many, many times, and New York is beautiful. And there are the same stereotypical Italians there and hillbillies, and there are rednecks in upstate New York.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just straight up rednecks everywhere.
We're going to see Gervais and then do the standard sightseeing stuff. And then,
that'll be fun.
And
you're going to eat a big slice of pizza?
Yeah.
Hey, gabagool!
Crystal got us some sort of reservations at this tiny pizza restaurant that's supposed to have the best pizza in the world.
We went to that place in San Francisco.
This is
so you've been to two. So you're going to say you've been to two.
Well, because
we had the World Championships. The guy came out and gave us our pie. Remember, I looked at him in the picture.
Yeah. But this one, the pizzas are like $80 a piece or something crazy.
Oh my God.
And then it's Max follows this YouTuber.
I thought your sons hated pizza.
No,
they're into pizza
now.
Okay.
That's all they really. That's all really Max will eat. He doesn't eat anything else.
What kind of pizza?
So
what's he like?
Picky. Cheese
pizza. All right.
It's just, the boringest pizza.
But this
of all
is the
time.
most world famous cheese pizza you could ever have.
It's considered the best, not world famous because it's tiny, and then you have to have a reservation months in advance.
That's neat.
And the only reason we knew it is because this YouTuber went there and I guess did a review.
That's cool.
But it's I forgot the kid's name, but he's young blonde broccoli. He's some huge YouTuber.
There's a version of the broccoli now that I've noticed that I don't understand, and I'm not necessarily anti it, but it is odd. It's the shelf broccoli where the hair comes out. And it's got a shelf, and it's like a hard broccoli.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do.
A lot of athletes have some QBs, and then they'll go to put their helmet on, and they can't fit their broccoli in their helmet. It's a big shelf broccoli.
Yeah. Mahomes started that, I feel like.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, he's the most famous of the broccoli.
To me, always looked like he could do it because I always thought that a broccoli, maybe I'm just an a-hole or you can call me old man, but I was like, broccoli is for people of mixed race because I can't do a broccoli. I got straight white hair.
Well, that's why you got to permit. And then
can't do it.
You have to turn it mixed race.
No, you can't. If you're not a natural Brock, you can't do it. I'm sorry.
Well, the whites want to be broccoli
no,
too.
You can't do it.
They want to be cool.
Sorry, you don't have the hair for it.
Yeah, no. Well, now you're discriminating against my son.
I am
My son is.
Does he want to be a broccoli?
He's got blonde,
straight,
thin angel hair.
Straight, yeah. He can never broccoli. No, those boys.
But he'll get a perm.
No, those boys can be okay. If you're not a broccoli and you're in the South, I'm sorry, you have to be almond brother. Sorry, that's just the way it goes. You're either like the cool hip hop kids that are mixed race can be broccolis, and if you're a white kid, you can love hip hop and everything else, but you can't. You got to be an almond brother. Just long butt cutting, just straight long hair. You got to do it. You got to do it. All right, you want to do some voicemails or emails?
Yeah,
we neglect these from time to time, and sometimes when we have these segments and we're just I want to tell you something before we go into voicemails and emails. There's a reason why I never mess with things that are important or like family heirlooms or important to the family, right?
Okay.
I have my father's Stetson cowboy hat that he wore his entire life. It's a straw hat. It's all sweaty and nasty. I wore it when you and I went to the river ranch, the Westgate River Ranch, and I wore it out there. And it is one of my most prized possessions. Well, I do this thing on Sundays called Cowboy Hat Sunday.
Yeah.
So where I wear my own cowboy hat, and I take my dog out, and we drive all around, and Maisie wears her cowboy hat, and we do Cowboy Hat Sundays.
Okay.
So I got a stick in my craw. I'm like, I want to put my dad's hat band from his Stetson on my hat.
Okay.
That way, it has like his energy. It's good. You know what I mean? Like it's like his old hat. And his old hat,
yeah, it's like taking the diamond out of your grandma's ring and putting it in a new setting.
Thank you.
Because you're like, oh, keep the nostalgia, but just a piece of it,
but
not the
change
whole
it a
thing.
little bit. Like one of the things I thought of, and you'll be either happy or unhappy to hear this, but I thought of you when you took your.
I'm always unhappy.
Well, yeah, I know you are. You took the necklace that was, from your family.
My step grandfather gave me.
Yeah, and you made it into 2 bracelets for your sons. It's like keeping it, but also changing it enough to be something for your new family, the new iteration of the Vans.
Well, I took a small portion of it and made it into a ring for Crystal.
That's cool.
And then the rest wasn't big enough for a necklace anymore, so I made it into 2 bracelets.
For your sons. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Crystal's got some piece of it, and then my sons will have.
Yeah, so I get my dad's, and I'm like, okay, how hard can this be, right? So I look at the hat, and it's just it's a very simple band. It's not fancy. It's not crazy looking. It's cloth. A lot of them are leather. The one on my hat is like a little leather band.
You got to go to a haberdashery, right?
You would think that. No, but I steamed my own hat myself, right? Remember, I want to do it myself.
Okay, all right.
Like, plus, I wouldn't even know where to take that. Like, Boot Barn or something? And I'd feel like an idiot going in there. Like, hey, can you put this? Like, I don't know. I'll do it myself. So I got my dad's hat. I was looking at it. Now, one of the things I noticed is that his hat, everything was stitched. Like the band had little, like really nicely sewn little loops of thicker, like string that it tied the hat band into the hat band.
Yeah. Oh, that hat was sewed by middle-aged Americans.
It was. Mine was glued. Mine was glued crap. Like mine when I took the leather.
It was glued
it's
by
glued crap.
A young Chinese boy.
Yeah, it was terrible. So
or girl.
I steamed the edge, and then I got the glue off, and then I had to pick all the glue off. My dad's hat, no glue, not even one spot. Everything was sewn on.
Yeah.
Here's the problem: when I went to take, because it's a brown headband, or hatband rather, and then there's a little pin that looks like a brand, and it says JBS, John B. Stetson, and it's like a little hat pin, and then behind the hat pin is a yellow, green, and red plumed feather.
Okay.
Like a beautiful feather. So I undid all the little stitches, and I'm like, okay, this is great. I took the stupid hat band off of mine, had to steam all the glue off and pick it with my finger. It looks like crap. Obviously not made the same way. When I got that hat band and I picked the hat band up, the feather just all fell apart. Shouldn't have messed with it.
Yeah,
Shouldn't have messed with it.
I
was messing with the transmission fluid in an antique truck.
Yeah. Now, can you get a replica feather?
No, I put it back together. You'll be very proud of me. The whole feather disintegrated to a point where it just wasn't, it was like bound together almost like a fly for fly fishing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just disintegrated because apparently the way they had looped it when they made my dad's hat, it was held together. So I looped it myself with string. I was like, well, I can do this.
Okay.
So I took a little piece of string.
So like a fishing fly.
Like a fishing fly, and then I looped the string. By the way, I don't want to do this. I'm still in pain. Like, this is hard. Like, I thought it was just going to be a wham, bam, glue it on there, So I'm like wrapping the thing around there. I wrapped the feather back, and then I stuck it on there, and I don't know how to sew, so I just did my best of doing like little loops in the hat. But I got it all back together. I put a dollop of glue. I'm a little embarrassed of that, but it's the only way I knew how to keep the feather together. I put a blob of glue on it, and I squished it with my finger to really hold it on there, and then I kind of took my hands back, and I'm like, done! And it is perfect.
And it's back where you started.
It's back where we started. Yeah. It's all back to good, but I can never touch that thing ever again. Or it will disintegrate.
You wanted best of both worlds. You
did.
wanted to take something nostalgic and put it on your new thing. It just, you got to leave it alone.
You got to leave it alone. I probably should have just, I don't know. It made me very, I got one of those like arrhythmias. Like when that feather fell apart, as much as that hat means to me sentimentally for my dead father, like I was like, oh my God, what have you done?
Yeah.
I was also really high when I did it too. That didn't help.
Yeah. I mean, usually, like the professionals, can do this better. But
what I'm asking for is like such a weird old world thing. Like guys that block hats.
Oh, there's someone out there that if you said, I want this band on my new hat, I mean, it'll
Oh,
be
no,
perfect.
so I'm putting the call out now because I know we can find them because Florida's like little Texas. I need someone that blocks hats professionally that knows how to do this that can do a weird job because I would love to talk to somebody that does it.
Oh, yeah.
With the steamer, and you put the hat on there, and you move it around, and then you use the pieces of wood, and then you use your hands to put the creases in there, and then you can, you steam the sides, and then you block the sides of it.
It's called a haberdasher.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Or whatever.
Haberdashery?
Haberdasher? What's a cobbler
makes
shoes.
Yeah.
So what's a hatman?
A haberdasher.
A haberdasher?
A haberdasher.
I'm sure if you just search that on Google, there's someone somewhere within, there's got to be one in the land or right outside Orlando.
But you don't see them, right? Like you do still see shoe stores. You do still see.
It's rare, yeah. But there's got to be one old guy that does it still that has his, son got him on the internet. And now he does hats, and there's still
here's what I
there's
don't
little
want.
leathermen and people that dabble in that kind of old school stuff that for sure you could find it on the
Here's
internet.
what I don't want. I don't want the ones. I don't know if this has crept into your algorithm. It has mine because of hats, right? Like a couple of weeks ago, I steamed my own hat and I kind of tacoed it a little bit. I wanted to change the shape of it, right? Now I've got this guy on my algorithm where he shapes his hats, but the crown of the hat is always a skull face, and I hate it. He does all those Rob Zombie metal hats.
Yeah. People like skulls.
They do, but mostly
aggressive.
Europeans. They're mostly no offense, mostly Crystal's family members, all in Sweden. They love cowboy hats that have skulls on them. And they love the metal.
Wizard metal.
Oh, the Swedes love dressing with the arm bracers and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's not only the rave scene over there, but also
the Nordic metal scene is huge.
Yeah. The wizard metal and the Dragon Force type imagery with, wizard skulls.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Yeah,
scarves. A lot of scarves.
Yeah.
All right. I forgot about voicemails. Here we go. Here's a first one. I believe this is from Ben with a Y.
What's up, guys? Ben with a Y here. Hey, I was hearing Tom's story about the homeless camps in the middle of the woods, and it reminded me of something that happened to me when I was in my 20s. I was dating this girl whose mother had moved in with her, and her mom was kind of a drug addict and a crackhead, so she disappeared. So nobody knew where she was at. And then I guess her sister or one of her friends said, hey, I think she's living out in this homeless camp out in the middle of the woods. So my girlfriend at the time thought it was the brilliant idea of going out there and getting her home key or house key away from her mom because her mom had a key to her apartment. She was worried at any moment she could just break in and steal all her stuff.
So she was going to get the house key from the homeless mom that lived in the homeless camp?
I would have suggested, listen, I'm no brain surgeon, but I would have suggested, how about we just change the locks? Instead of going into the woods, into a homeless encampment, and then searching for a key.
You take the key, you don't have to change the locks, is what they were thinking. But I'm with you.
Viking locks can get that done. It's nothing that,
Now, here's something. Here's something Viking locks will not do. They will not go out to a homeless camp and take the key physically from an old homeless grandma.
I mean, how much could it be to rekey your deadbolt in your house? Not that much.
Can't be that much.
But
I don't think they thought of this.
A couple $100.
A lot of people
they didn't think of it?
No, a lot of people don't think
They're
of
like,
that.
let's go search for the key in a homeless camp.
The key and the lock already exist. You see what I'm saying? So that's the solution they keyed in on, pun intended, and they can't get off of it. The changing of the locks, that never came into play.
You can you could buy a brand new lock at Home Depot.
Didn't come into play.
I mean, what's that? $38.
Okay,
one deadbolt.
He continues.
Right, and I guess I don't know. She didn't think about changing the locks. Or maybe her landlord wouldn't let her change the locks. I'm not sure. So she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to go out into the woods and I'm going to get my key." And just me, in my 20s, I'm like, "Well, you can't go out by yourself. I'm going to have to go with you." So we get in my car, and it's in Melbourne, and it's like across from the courthouse. There were like these woods back there, and there was like this trail. So,
Why do all courthouses, even the one that I go to that's near the Mellow Mushroom near you, you know that courthouse?
Yeah.
That's the one where the black guy dropped the huge joint that I picked up and handed back to him, and he said, "You ain't seen nothing." Remember that guy?
Okay.
Woods across the street.
Yeah.
Or there's like a field.
People, they like to flee into the woods.
Yeah, I was going to say, you need some good flinging woods.
I drove my car down, basically as far down as I could go, because the trail kept getting narrower and narrower, to a point where I'm like, look, I need to turn my car around here. We'll leave the car here, and then we'll walk the rest of the way. So we walk into the woods. I'm not sure how far of a walk it was. I don't remember it being that far. But then it opened up to legit like a tent city in the damn woods. It was like probably 10, 15 tents in there. Mm-hmm. And her mom was sitting there, and then she starts berating her mom. Like, what is wrong with you? Look at you. Look at how you're living out here with all these people. You're trash. And
I've always wanted to say that to a homeless person.
I was like, oh, please be quiet. Like, you're calling all these people trash. So as she starts yelling at her mom, all these heads start popping out of these tents, right? Because these people are in the tents.
Oh, my God. It's like meerkats. They're all...
I'm like, we got to get out of here. We got to go. We got to make a run for it here. So she gets the key back from her mom, and we start walking back towards...
Why did the mom give the key? If you tell me I'm trash at my homeless camp, I ain't giving you... I'm being serious. If you come to my homeless camp and you're my daughter and you call me trash in my homeless camp and you expect me to give you your key back, I'll eat the key.
Car. And as we're walking back towards the car, there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 homeless people came out of the woods and started yelling at us for going back there and talking to her mom that way and all this stuff. I'm like, just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. So we made it to the car and we hauled ass out of there. And it was single-handedly probably one of the most stupidest things I've ever done in my 20s was go back in there because we could have easily been shot or killed or whatever.
You're not going to get shot by homeless
people. We didn't have any weapons. We didn't have any. We just went back there just to get the key, I guess. Anyway, crazy story.
You're not going to get shot by homeless people, but you may get inappropriately bitten or tackled. Could be, but they're weak. A lot of them are weak.
Yeah, they're on drugs.
Yeah. They'll talk a big game. They'll talk a big game.
I've never seen a violent homeless person personally.
I had one guy that...
I've seen them yell and go, with the doo-doo pants and all that, but I've never...
Even in my current state, and I've never been weaker, no homeless can beat me. Because I run on just pure anything goes. I'll run on anything goes. I'll use my cane, whatever it takes.
Also, if they had a gun, they'd pawn that for drug money.
That's what I'm saying. I never worry about that.
There's no way they're keeping it that long.
Guns, knives, samurai swords, not in play. Because they have value.
And I know what you're thinking. They'll use the gun to rob for drug money, but they know the cops know where to get them. Why do you think they have little dogs with goggles? No value. Those dogs have no value. You start dabbling in armed robbery, it's going to be real bad. So you have a gun, you're just going to pawn it. You don't need a gun. You're just trying to live and let others live.
Now they will get the mothers back, and this is going to be a hot take. They should. If you're in the homeless camp, you're down for the homeless camp. I support those guys coming out of the woods, getting the moms back. You came in there and started berating her, okay?
Yeah, she's their friend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You should be, there is some sort of nobleness to the camaraderie there.
Thank you.
That you should appreciate.
That's why you and I will make good homeless. We will make good homeless. Because we know the rules. I know the rules.
I met some homeless people in my adventures. Throughout, the radio.
Oh yeah, some of them work for the station.
There was,
hey,
I was talking to a lot more homeless people when I would go out and do radio.
Closer to homeless.
Like the man on the street bit.
Yeah, well, the listeners that listen to radio are only 3 notches above homeless.
Well, some of them were homeless.
Yes.
And because
prisoners, homeless, they love radio.
Radios are cheap, and you could carry lots of people give free radios. It's
free. Turn it on. Put it in your ears.
And a lot of them, you don't even need batteries. You could wind them. Because a lot of weather radios in Central Florida end up, the homeless get them. So every time I go out and man on the street, I'd be out there, Drunky the Bear. They're also attracted to Drunky the Bear.
I love Drunky the Bear.
Yeah. Because it's like,
hey, y'all want to see Drunky the Bear go crazy? Give me a hell yeah, all right.
They,
hey, everybody, we got Drunky the Bear. Then sometimes they start doing your job.
Yeah,
that was my favorite, is when you'd be down there to, like, hold a sign for, like, see who can like wash more cars, and the homeless friend, you make a homeless friend and he starts assisting you more than what you're even doing, because he's like, hey, I can be on the radio too.
It was like when Tyson Fury made it to heavyweight champ. He was a gypsy,
Yes.
and all the gypsies, he was the king of the gypsies
loved him.
because he rose up and became world famous.
Clown Prince.
Yeah, so I was kind of the king of the homeless, Drunky the Bear.
You were.
They liked getting drunk, and they're like, this guy's a fool, and then no one respects him.
Yeah.
Same with me.
Homeless people to do stuff.
Yeah, and then so when I was out there, I met one guy who claimed to be the king of the homeless here in Central Florida.
this.
Yeah, and then you interviewed him on the show, whatever. And he had money at one point, then lost it all multiple times. And he nice guy.
Yeah.
And it seems like the higher echelon homeless, like the higher ups in the homeless community, live in the woods, and the lower homeless, they are sporadic around town, like living where they can.
Well, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. The ones
That's
that
amateur hour. If you're on the streets, it's amateur hour. If you're in the woods, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, because they have an encampment and they have strength in numbers, and they all can get together and have meetings and then plan.
Communication is key.
Yeah. If you're single and by yourself, solo homeless,
You can't do that.
You have no support.
No.
You need a group of homeless to band together.
Which means you're going to have to be a little vulnerable, which is going to be hard. But you're going to have to offer up some pieces of you. You have to have skin in the game in order to do it. You have really been, you really set the internet on fire with your hot take on tipping Uber Eats drivers. Over the weekend, my wife and daughter were at a dance competition that I was not able to attend, but I was watching online. And I was starved, and we didn't have any food, and my wife begged me to Uber Eat, and I did not. I went to bed without food. I will not do it. I can skip a meal. I'm fat. It's fine. I can skip a meal.
Yeah, but why not?
I will not. Because I have a record of never Uber eating. I haven't.
What about DoorDash?
No DoorDash, no Postmates. I've never done it, and I will not do it. And I'm holding to.
Well, you've gotten a pizza delivered, right?
That doesn't count.
Yeah, but what's the difference between?
There is no difference other than my record.
Okay, all right.
And I want to hold my record.
Well, you could order from a pizza place.
Pizza feels like
other
more
things.
of a value, because like a pizza, you get a pizza, it's like $17.99, right? Which we all know is expensive. But you get a burger, and they're like, oh, this burger, that's $22.50. Well, hold on a goddamn second. $22.50.
Well, what about
you're paying for the rarity of the food?
Does it count if you call a pizza place and order a non-pizza item for delivery, like a burger?
I've never done that.
Because
Who would do that?
Now,
what kind of monster would order a burger from a pizza place?
I mean, they have.
What are you, a homeless man?
What I'm saying, would that break the streak of you never getting Uber Eats if you got different food item from a pizza establishment from their personal drivers?
No, it has to be Uber Eats.
Okay, so the personal store drivers don't count under your weirdo
but I've
rule.
but I've never done your weirdo buy a burger at a pizza place or buy something non-pizza at a pizza place.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, just
if
so
I
you
go
have
pizza,
an
I
option.
get pizza. I'm a patriot, and that's what patriots do. Let me get another one of these voicemails. This is the one. All right, so we got a couple Uber Eats ones. I had to weed out a ton of them because we got emails, we got voicemails, tons.
What's up, guys? Ben with a Y here. Hey, I'm just chiming in on the Uber Eats from the Friday Free Show on how much you're supposed to tip. Now, I do know that I don't tip on percentage of sale. What I tip on is distance to my house. Because, like Tom said, I don't think those guys care if they're picking up one bag or 100 bags. If they're just picking up a bag and they're dropping it off, what they care about is the gas is going to take them to get from point A to point B. So if I'm just being a lazy POS and I'm ordering Chick-fil-A that's 1 mile up the street because I'm too lazy to drive, that's a $5 tip, bro. I'm sorry, you're only going a mile from point A to point B. But if I want to get something that's, 10, 15, 20 miles away, then I'm going to tip based on the mileage. So I'm going to give maybe that's a $10 tip, or if it's a little bit further, and then it's going to be a $20 tip.
You're ordering
So,
from a restaurant
to me,
20 miles away.
You stole it right out of my mouth. A 20-mile away restaurant.
The driver has to drive to get it to my house.
Okay, all right. So, Ben, listen.
I thought of this, too. I would order a Tom's Pizza from DeLand if they delivered, but they don't deliver 63 miles to my door.
I saw another BDM describe, you should tip based on distance from your house. Okay, that's fine.
That's not even in my algorithm.
But what's the I guess the difference, are we talking anything above 5 miles is how much dollars extra than 5? Like if 5 is a standard, then we're
Oh, he didn't get past 5.
yeah. Then now you're talking 20? That's absurd. You're like,
20.
What if
Okay,
it's like
$20.
6 miles?
First, 2 things are absurd there.
One
Tipping
extra mile.
$20 for a 20. You got a steak that's 20 miles away and you tip $20 on it. You're an insane person.
Also, a mile of gas is like 38 cents or something. Like we have good gas efficiency nowadays in cars, so it's like not that much more. Like so, it's 7 miles. So I go from 5, double to 10? No. $6.
I think
maybe.
he complicated it even more because I think he's going to go like $5. Now you're $6. Now you're $7. Now you're. It's just okay.
Yeah. And
that's why the percentages make sense to me because it's just the number, and I get the ease of the $5 too. I get it. It's convenient to just be like, okay, that's it. That's $5. All right.
Well, the percentage of the actual total of the food makes no sense if you're just tipping the delivery driver because everybody, and I think I saw this universally agreed, a bag's a bag. There's no difference in what's inside of it as far as the delivery driver goes. You're just delivering a bag.
This guy, I think, agreed with you. I can't remember. Let's go with this guy.
All right, listening to the most recent Friday Free Show from the 11th here of April, and you guys are talking about DoorDash tipping with Ross Paget. I'm kind of on both sides, but I'm more leaning on Tom here, coming back from having run pizza places in the past. The best tip was always the $5 tip. Like every driver, you want a $5 tip. That's when gas was even cheaper. I'm with Tom on this one. A good flat, no matter kind of what you're ordering, a $5 tip. Now, where I'm with Dan and Ross a little bit is I do modify that sometimes. If I've been drinking, I'm not going to go drive and go pick up Burger King, but that's literally like a 5 to 10 block distance from my place. So I might only give like a $3 tip because they're not driving that far.
Oh my God, this guy's the exact opposite of what Bryn with a Y said. There's so many different variations of this that we're never going to standardize.
But also, yes, the Burger King's right near your house, but where are they coming from? They have to drive from wherever they are, and then it's impossible to know.
Well, they're certainly not by your house. That'd be ridiculous to even assume. Unless your next door neighbor is your Uber driver.
So your whole logic of distance is flawed because they're driving to the Burger King, then to your house. They're not at the Burger King like, I'm only going 2 blocks. It's like wherever they're at when they accept the order that's when it starts their driving distance.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So if they happen to be, say, like way further, if the restaurant's way further from you, but they happen to be close to it, that could even be closer than they would be if the Burger King was next door to your house, depending on where they accept the order.
No, I get what you're saying.
A paradox here. Really. It's a 5, just do 5 standard for everything.
No, I still like my percentages. It's fine. Because it's easy for me. Like I know how to
You don't even do this, so you can't chime in. You're outside of the system.
I'm just saying when I do get something, I tip.
You say you're never going to get it.
Oh, I'm never going to get Uber Eats, but I'm just saying when I do pizza, I still do my 20%. At least 20%.
Oh, you do 20%? On pizzas?
Yeah, always. I always do that.
So
I thought I made that clear. I always do the 10 and 10. Like if it's $75, $10, 10% of that is $7.50. Add that up. That's $14. That's $15. There's my tip. 20%. $15. 20%.
And it's like
I do 20% on that.
$200.
I do 20% on that.
So you're doing a $40.
Yeah, I do I do 10% of the $200. $20.
What'd you tip for those $300 of
20%.
20%?
Yeah, I always
That's
tip
too
20%.
much.
I always tip 20%.
Yeah, but that's way too much.
Well, I mean, it's
20%
of
$300
that money's gone. You'll have to stop me next time.
Well, no wonder
No
your
one
wife
can stop
doesn't let
me.
you do anything
No one can
with
stop me,
money
though.
because you're wasting it.
No, it's fine.
You're wasting money.
Nobody at our pinball meetup, and some of them are in the chat room, no one said I wasted anything. In fact, they said that those
Well, it's
pizzas
free for
made
them.
the event better.
That is, yeah,
Because it was premium pizza. It wasn't just BS pizza.
yeah, they could have eaten Papa John's.
No, I don't like
they would have
speaking
been
for
just
people.
as
I don't like
fine.
speaking for people.
If-
I like to treat them well.
I looked in everybody's eyes, including I looked in the mirror, and I said, we all could eat Papa John's. We're not this fancy.
Oh, they're very fancy. They love it. Let's try this one from DeBerry Joe. He has had it, folks.
All right, so here's one. If it only takes $1 to get a homeless person to leave Tom Van alone, how much do I have to pay these annoying-ass old people that don't pay me a damn thing, that just want to stand over me and give me just little helpful tips and tricks on how to fix this sprinkler head that I'm working on? It's my job. I know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to just dig in the dirt. Got my podcast playing, and this jolly old couple, they just will not leave me alone. And they're making it worse. What should I do? How much money on the Tom Van scale should I offer them to walk away?
This kind of falls into tipping, I thought. Like, how much money can DeBerry Joe... I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I believe he's moving away because he's had it so much. He got an offer to move away to the Carolinas, and DeBerry Joe said, the yard business, I am out. I'm done with these old people and podcasts, and I'm out of here.
Yeah, but as a guy, I've done a lot of this in my life where I like to stand and talk to the person that's doing the work. Now,
You don't do it with me when I'm doing stuff in here, and I appreciate that.
well, I only do it when the person's doing the work for, a deep discount because they listen to the show, and then I think they want
Friendship value.
me to tell them stories and talk to them because that's why they're giving me a discount. They don't want to just show up at my house. I'm not even there.
Yeah.
Like if I...
Has anyone ever asked for the stories?
No one's
Okay.
ever...
That's what makes it great, though, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like...
But
It's like to ask for it is like inviting a vampire into a dwelling. I feel like you're not supposed to do that.
like I listen to Ross Tucker's football podcast, and so let's say one day I do some work over his house because
What skill are you providing Ross Tucker?
I could do some light irrigation work. Okay.
He's like, hey Tom, it's me, Ross Tucker. My sprinklers are too good right now. I want them to be a little janky.
I can plant some
need
plants.
Some flooding.
Like, let's say I hear Ross
Can I
Tucker
get
on the
some
show.
gutter flooding or some stolen palm trees?
And he's like, my backyard looks like crap. I want an oasis.
Oh,
and
your eyes light up.
And then I text him, I'm going to email him. I'm like, I can make you an oasis.
No, you text him. You got his number.
I do, yeah. I text him.
Yeah.
I was like, I could make you once, so then
How would you address it? Would you be like, hey, Ross, it's old TV.
Yeah.
You may remember me. You've been on my podcast.
No, he
a couple
knows.
times.
He remembers.
I heard you talking about your backyard, and it embarrassed me that a fellow sportsman and athlete like you, I'm an athlete too. I'm an ultra marathoner.
So then,
you need to start slipping that in. It will go a long way with fellow athletes.
I got this limp foot.
Don't talk about that, dude. Do you think I talk about the fact that I can barely walk? I don't say nothing.
Yeah,
I don't say nothing.
You've talked about it all for months.
No, but like that.
Months.
No, they don't see it though. When I'm in my car, I look fine.
So if I show up to his house with a bunch of palm trees in my truck.
That's going to look really redneck, by the way.
And then he never comes out into the backyard to talk to me.
Would you come out if you saw a hillbilly in a truck with a bunch of palm trees hanging out the back?
I'm doing it. I'm like, hey, I get you these stolen palm trees at a discount, and then I'll plant them, and then I'll set up the irrigation. Like
okay, we're mean to each other a lot, but real talk, you've talked so much about stolen palm trees, you got me wanting one.
Well, you have no,
I want to put one on my patio. Can you get little ones? A little
Nah,
stolen palm tree?
it's only big
And then when it
boys.
gets big enough, I'll give it to you.
No.
Right?
No.
And then you put a plaque up, and then you put a plaque up for Maisie or for Dan when I die.
No.
And it's the palm tree that goes in the back. It's like a memorial palm tree for me.
Nah, yeah, I mean, I guess you could use a bamboo palm or a lady palm that doesn't need full sun.
Oh, I see what you did with the lady palm joke. You
uh,
calling me a lady palm?
But it's not going to grow.
Want to hear
well.
a drunk person that thinks I'm funny?
Anyway, my point being, if Ross Tucker never comes out and tells me any sort of stories about the NFL or the time he was on the Patriots, of
I heard about the
Belichick.
time I pulled down
Tom
Deion
Brady.
Sanders' pants.
I want to hear
Yeah.
about some shenanigans in the
I
locker
put
room.
Icy Hot in Deion Sanders' jockstrap.
Yeah, I want to hear about some sort of some player.
Yeah.
Like,
Remember Merlin Olsen? One time he took a crap in Dick Butkus's gym bag.
Yeah. You got to tell me some old NFL stories, something. You got to, come talk to me. And then
Belichick tried to grow a mustache one time. We clowned him.
if you never came out, then I'm like, oh, this is a waste of time. Then I'm mad forever. You scam me.
Forever.
Tucker. You scam me because everybody knows it's this it's kind of an unspoken thing, but if you're a radio DJ and you ask for some sort of free something from your listeners, you have to hang out with them while they do it
And
for
you
free.
give them we call it the persona.
You
got to give them the persona.
You got to tell them some stories.
Yeah.
You got to hang around, whatever.
Oh, give them I'll give them a bear
You
dance.
give them your cell phone number.
Yeah, you think
tell
of
them
a
something
bunch.
personal.
You're like, dude, this meant so much to me.
Yeah.
You
give
go,
them a
thank
hug.
you so much. You give them a hug.
Yeah. And
then when they drive away, you're like,
and it's the perfect transaction.
yeah. You want to hear a guy that thinks I'm funny who's drunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I've gone back to the pen several times, and that's probably not good. But Dan, you and I are the same age, and your comedy and your wit is so legend, dude. Damn. My knees are going out. I think I need some new knees. You just had a new hip. It's this thing. It's this thing, and
I'm just
and
like
a couple decades I could enjoy you, dude.
That's 3.
And your Ashley.
That's 4.
So here's to another pen and another pen. Penn and Teller.
I do like that the Penn and Teller joke at the end was dumb. That's the only thing that saved it.
I'm glad it's happening to you now. My knees don't work. I can't walk. I'm handicapped like you, Dan.
I got the army of sinners.
I like
He
that.
called back.
Okay.
Let's see what this one was.
Yo, you guys are so vulnerable. I just smoked a pen for the first time in so many years, and you guys are so beautiful. Like, you got the new Ross on, and he says only good things can be spoiled. I'm just too high to convey. Tom wants to give his sons dreams. They don't have dreams, but he just wants to. It's so much. I love you guys.
All right. Is that good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He sounded conflicted,
It's
right?
so much. What
I do
does that
like
mean?
his voicemail. Just next time, sir, try not to curse as much because I do have to go in and manipulate that audio because there is some semblance of the FCC, which we don't even know if there is. So
It's also not that much of a compliment when you're so stoned that you could barely put together a sentence, and that's when you find us the most funny.
Yeah.
You find anything funny stoned.
that's true. If you were
It's
like, I want you to be
You're
like,
blasted.
you know what? I just backed over my own daughter
yeah,
in my driveway,
dead sober,
like Stephen Curtis Chapman, the Christian singer,
Oh, come on.
and I murdered her. And I'm being brought up on charges. And you know what? I just heard the show and it turned me around.
that's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
Yeah. Not
It's like, I thought my world was closing in on me, and I thought my wife was divorcing me. It was an accident. I didn't mean to do it. I just didn't look behind me. I was distracted. Too much God. Killed her good. And right? And then but I heard this show and the little guy. I heard that little guy and his wit. And you know what? I got a bad hit. And I'm just like him. Thanks for that. Appreciate you.
all right. Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you listening.
You want to do one more?
Yeah.
All right. This is about, let's see how this works here.
Tom and Dan, Friday Free Show. Tom was talking about wanting to catch a pass from Dan Marino or an NFL quarterback. When I was a teenager, I kind of got that chance. My dad had a big party and clients and friends came by, and one of them was at the time backup NFL quarterback Dave Craig at the end of his 3-time Pro Bowl, 19-year career where he led the NFL in completion percentage in 1991, Seahawks Ring of Honor, and this dude's got the all-time record for most yards lost on being sacked. And so he showed up at my dad's party, and he didn't want to hang out with the adults and drink and smoke, so, Casey and the Sunshine Band. He hung out with me and my teenage friends, and we threw a couple passes, and we played one-on-one basketball or pickup basketball like all night. And it was pretty sweet, and obviously I still remember it. He hooked it up with some hats and footballs later on, which was very cool.
This is the story you want, right? This is it. Like, he hung out with him, he partied with him, he gave him memorabilia, and treated him like he was an equal.
Yes.
This is what you wanted, man.
I want this from a famous quarterback, not some no-name backup.
He's a Pro Bowler. Pro Bowler.
Have you heard of this person?
No. Also, it sounded like he said Daniel Craig.
Yeah. And are you talking about any time in the past 10 years Pro Bowl? Because that means nothing now. Only the 90s Pro Bowl means something.
Yeah, we got one more. Let's do this one right here.
BDM Neil here, listen to the most recent Friday Free Show while I finish up work, and I remember the 90s David Blaine. My favorite was when he would do something crazy for essentially the black people, and they would just be like, oh, bro, you see this? Oh, and they would just go in absolutely bonkers when he threw the card against the window and then the card goes on the inside, or he levitates and they just freak out. Some of my favorite memories of Magic. Love y'all. Peace.
It was the first, I think it was the first for our generation, the first like true
Street Magic.
Street Magic. It was like it was our magic. It started our magic.
Yeah, because all the other Magic specials were like David Copperfield with...
It was old people stuff.
You know, they're doing Walk Through the Great Wall of China, Statue of Liberty disappear. It was on stage.
It was as foreign to me as a celebrity cruise or a Viking River cruise. That was for old people.
And you missed the funniest part of all that is the differences in the other cultures and how stereotypical they were too, because the white people were just...
Like a hillbilly takes his hat off, scratches his head.
They were just frozen in boring amazement. You see what I mean? They were so bored, they wouldn't react at all. They would just freeze.
Good God.
Like the most boring people in the world. And then the group of Asians he did it in front would just clap politely.
Yeah.
They were just all clapping
like
unison politely.
A simple and respectful bow.
And then, I don't know if he did that on purpose, but it was definitely... it seemed like an emphasis on like, hey, we're showing
racial
the different
purposes,
cultures,
right?
And how they react to street magic on purpose.
You're hitting my memory hard. So you're talking, and we can hit this real quick before we get out of here. We're talking about racial, like doing things on purpose. Did you know that the Yellow Ranger and Black Ranger from Power Rangers were both? The Yellow Ranger was an Asian woman, and Black Ranger was a black man. But it was an intern.
Oh, I know.
But it was an intern there that was like...
And Wheels was in a wheelchair.
No, it was an intern there that was like, oh, why'd you do this? And they're like, what do you mean, why'd we do this? Now, this could be fake.
Pure accident.
But they were like, well, no, we just did it. And then the showrunner, I think at the time, came out last week and said, well, this was a mistake. The black guy that played Black Ranger, he's like, no, it wasn't. He was like, at a time when Asians and black people weren't getting representation, he's like, you put us on the biggest stage and we were great at what we did. There are different ways to look at it.
But did they think at all about the Yellow and Black Ranger and then who they were casting as the actor, or was it totally random, just happenstance?
So what had happened was the original Yellow Ranger was cast and was not Asian. And because of a scheduling conflict, she fell out of the production. They moved in the Asian girl, and it just happened to be. That's the story I was told. Could not be true, but... You know, that's the story I was told.
I believe it. Now, if you're the producer or director of Power Rangers, like once this happens and then once they, like, you know, you go in for shoot and you're like, wait a minute, just switch the pink and the yellow, you know? Like,
right.
You're like, you know, someone's going to, but no one really, I never heard of that as like a outcry of, hey, they did this on purpose.
I don't think it was a thing. I think it's a thing now because people like to invent things that are sort of hot button. But that's what the Black Ranger was saying. He actually came out and said, like, I didn't think this was bad because we were doing stuff at the time. Like, they're still very beloved.
Of course. It's stupid.
It's a nothing.
And also, it's like, it does make sense that the Black Ranger is black.
Right, it's fine with me. I mean, like, I don't care. They're Power Rangers. Who cares?
And the White Ranger's white. It's like, all right. Does anybody?
Well, the chat room asks, was the Red Ranger an Indian dude? It's like, no.
That's too far.
Yeah, so what are you doing? Get out of here, you monster.
We don't want racist people listening to the show.
You know what? Delete your account. You're no listener of mine.
Well, delete it next month.
Yeah, wait a little bit.
I had a lot of expenses this month, so
wait a little bit.
Actually,
just keep it.
Yeah,
and just think about what you did and not do it again.
Yeah. And now
we're good with it.
Now that I think about it, I don't.
It's
your own business.
Yeah, it's your life.
How you think is your own business.
That's true.
And you know what? I'll even go further. I'll say some racist jokes that'll make you laugh, as long as you keep being a BDM.
Native American Red Ranger. Okay, sure.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.